2023 was a weird year in film. The Barbenheimer phenomenon had crowds piling into theaters for the first time since COVID started, producing a combined $230 million opening weekend. But at the same time, writers were on strike and actors soon joined them, putting a pause on productions altogether and stopping anyone from mumbling a word about movies that were coming out. Basically, billion-dollar franchises flopped, almost as if no one wants to see the same movies made over and over again. Surprise! With the results of the strikes, I hope that studios, especially Disney, now understands how their pockets will hurt if they don't listen to the community that serves them, and hopefully they'll put a little more thought into the movies that get made, and I'm really interested to see what that will look like moving forward. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, I wanted to look back on this year, on the movies that I watched, and rank them. Before we get into it, if you're new here, my name is Ashley. Nice to meet you. If you end up liking the video, you can do the thing down below, click the button, subscribe if you want to see more of me. And now let's get into my tier lists. So first we have, oh, that's not, as in, I didn't see it or I wish I didn't. And I know I just said I'm ranking the movies that I watched, but there was one that slipped between my fingers thus far. I'm still gonna see it, and we'll get there when we get to it. Okay. Next up, we have There's Really Nothing Here. As in, I just watched the movie, and there just wasn't much going on in my brain. Not even that it was, like, bad, per se, but just, like, I didn't feel anything. You know, like, even a bad movie makes you feel things. And I just, like, there's just really nothing here. Okay, starting off with one of my favorite releases this year, Bottoms. I was waiting for this movie and it delivered beyond my expectations. It was just filled with like that jealous envy of like, I wish I got to like work on this. I'm such a fan of Emma Seligman and I thought this movie was ridiculously funny, ridiculously gay. I was just so happy that I got to like sit in a theater and like watch this movie on a screen. I cried at the end when Party For You started playing. It's co-scored by Charlie XCX. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. She's going in pièce de résistance. Starting off strong. Next up, the capital B Barbie. This movie was so serious. I had to set an alarm to wake up to get in my pink outfit and put on my pink makeup and go see the Barbie movie. And I wasn't even mad about it. It was refreshing to see a movie that was like catered to girls, just treated with like such care and like seriousness while also being a movie about like dolls, but also just being a woman. With that being said, I feel like she wasn't an overall 5-star movie for me. Definitely like a 5-star experience, 5-star cultural moment. I love just seeing all the people dressed in pink going to see Barbie as a movement, as an event. But as a movie, she's definitely like top of the Slade Boots Queen category, I think. We'll have to see what else we have here, but we'll keep her there for now. Love you, Barbie. Next, we have They Cloned Tyrone. I watched this movie more recently. I feel it didn't get its deserved attention because it was released on Netflix during Barbenheimer weekend. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go watch it. It's like a black psychological thriller, comedy, sci-fi. It is a perfect blend of all those genres, I feel. It doesn't lose you too much, and it's also really funny. Do I fully understand it? No. But do I enjoy what I think I understood? And also looking at John Boyega? Well, yes. I already have a video where I talk about Priscilla. I think the film accomplished what it intended to do. I just wish it were more ambitious and like diving deeper into Priscilla's feelings. And while Sofia Coppola's aesthetic is very pleasing and nice to look at, I'm gonna have to say she had some hits. She had some hits, but it wasn't all the way there for me. Five Nights at Freddy's. Despite me giving this movie 5 stars on Letterboxd, okay, because I was going off of experience, not just like movie, and watching that movie was so funny. I watched it like the day it came out with my friends in Toronto at like a packed theater and everyone was just like talking and laughing the whole time. So it was really fun. But the movie itself, don't yell at me. I don't know Five Nights at Freddy's lore. I tried to learn it. Like I watched the hour-long YouTube videos after I watched the movie and it still didn't make me appreciate it anymore. I mean, the movie just wasn't scary. The animatronics only killed irrelevant characters. I felt like there was too much of Josh Hutcherson having the same dream over and over and over again instead of like the animatronics getting the spotlight. The reveal of the bunny wasn't, it just, there wasn't really anything there. But 10 out of 10 movie watching experience for sure. We've done half of the Barbenheimer experience. It's only right that I finish this off. And unfortunately, I have to say, I have not watched Oppenheimer. And I'm only putting it down here because I know this is on me. I'm shaming myself. Oh, that's not... Yeah, I know. It's bad. I still want to watch it. I honestly, like, if it's even still in theaters, it's just like, I know I could watch it online somewhere, but I refuse. Like, I'm not gonna watch this movie on a TV or a laptop. Like, I need to still see it in a theater, so I still plan on going to see it. But I haven't yet, and that's my fault, and I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Rye Lane is a rom-com about two 20-somethings that takes place in South London, and the two protagonists are like going through heartbreak. They're like fresh out of relationships, and then they like spend the day kind of like, you know, just talking to each other and like getting to know each other and going and gallivanting and doing things. I love this movie so much. I already know I'm putting it up here, but I just want to talk about it some more. So visually vibrant. They shot it with an anamorphic lens, which is just like really wide, and it's really picturesque, and it almost just feels like so many shots are like postcards, and I feel like that just adds to the tone of the film of like, you know, will this just be like a one day thing, sort of like Before Sunrise, which is another movie I really like. It's so funny. The two main characters have such great chemistry. If you haven't seen it, I highly, highly recommend it. It was so good, and definitely a pièce de résistance for me this year. Love at First Sight is a Netflix rom-com that I watched. I don't remember feeling anything while I was watching it. I wasn't really like excited for it, but I just knew like Netflix rom-com, I'm there. I wasn't like crazy about it. I wouldn't watch it again. I think like I would have said there's really nothing here, but like the last 30 minutes I felt something. So I'll say she had some hits. Sitting in Bars with Cake. So I thought Yara Shahidi was about to be in her romance bag again. Like, I thought this was going to be like a cute rom-com of like, ooh, you know, she makes cakes and takes them to bars, and then one night like she meets someone, but it's not like that. It is about her being a caretaker of like her best friend who is diagnosed with cancer. A really touching story about friendship, and it is pretty rare that, you know, we get movies like that these days. It was really sad, but I thought Yara and Odessa both had really strong performances. The scene where they're in the bar and they sing, "Don't wake me up before you go." I was bawling. Yeah. And so I'll say she had some hits. Switching gears, this was another really funny movie. Theater Camp. I don't even know, like, once again, ridiculous, funny, like, fresh. The kids in it were so funny. I was dying. Iowa Dabiri is in it. Also unserious, but also really touching and really speaks to you if you were a theater kid. And also the songs are really good. Like, I still sing Camp Isn't Home and tear up a little bit. Like, maybe I do, okay? Let's just get this out of the way. Where is she? Fast X. First of all, how dare you? How dare you make Jimin a part of this? This movie just pissed me off. Like, I don't know. It just feels even wrong having it next to Oppenheimer. Yeah, I wish I didn't watch it, honestly. And the fact that all of that nonsense, and it's only a part one, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, we get through 2 hours of just rubbish, and then at the end it's like, now Dom has to make a choice. Like, what? Are you kidding me? But yeah, just, that's not. Air was a movie about the creation of, like, Air Jordan, the shoes. I thought it was cool. I'm just not too fond of like this, I don't know if it's like the trend, but the movies being made about like huge companies and like huge brands and stuff. Y'all want to be the Social Network so bad, and I'm so sorry to tell you, but like you're not gonna be the Social Network. Spending all this money making movies about companies that make so much money just to make those companies more money, it's like I'm bored, I'm snoozing. It's I'm kind of a little bit tired of it. What I did like about it was getting to learn more about Michael Jordan's relationship with his mother and how much she rode for him. That was cool. I also thought it was just like a cool artistic choice that you don't ever see Michael Jordan in it. Like his face, at least, I think. Or isn't? I know, but like majority, it's always just like, you know, like from the back or like a silhouette or like him like signing something. Or so yeah, I thought that was cool. But yeah, overall, But also recently I watched Good Will Hunting, and the fact that this was the first time Ben Affleck and Matt Damon had like acted together on screen together since then was interesting to me. And I really like Good Will Hunting. Moving on. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the one that came out this year. I'm gonna be honest, I fell asleep and I had no urge to rewatch it. So I have no choice but to say there's really nothing here, because there really was nothing there for me. And that's all I can say about it. Shooting Stars. See, this is a LeBron James basketball movie that I watched this year. That was about his high school team, obviously before he was playing professionally. And this, I guess if you consider LeBron James a company, which I guess you kind of can, because like he's a brand at this point. I like this approach of making a movie about the making of something, you know, because it was like the power of friendship, like being scared of things changing and stuff. And also Caleb MacLachlan and Algie Smith are in it. And I'm a big The New Edition story fan. I rewatch it frequently. And it was nice to see them acting together again. So that made me really happy. Past Lives. Such a simple story. Very beautifully crafted. All I can say is this Letterboxd comment, which states, in another life type narratives are literally psychological warfare. And I totally agree. I love the way this movie starts with like people watching the like three main characters. I just thought that was like already a really cool way to like get you interested in the dynamic of all of them. I'm going to put it in pièce de résistance because it was really a highlight of the year for me. And I have definitely talked to a lot of people about it. Also, shout out the Toronto Pearson Airport because I had to find a way to connect to this film. Unfortunately, I don't have like a childhood bestie / crush who traveled overseas at the chance of rekindling a romance with me or anything. But I have flown into the Pearson Airport and looked around and thought, wow, I'm here now to see my best friend. Magic Mike: The Last Dance. I remember being confused seeing a trailer for this earlier this year because I was like, didn't the last sequel come out like 10 years ago? And it did. And I don't know why they chose to do a third one. I had also never seen any of the movies because the first one came out when I was like 11. So I never had any business watching it. And I never thought to myself after that, like, I really want to go back and watch those Magic Mike movies until I learned that Steven Soderbergh directed the first one, and he also directed the Oceans franchise, which I famously enjoy. I'll say the general consensus of the movies is the second one, then the first one, and then this third one unfortunately didn't do anything for me. Like, Channing Tatum is working as a bartender to, you know, get his money up since his furniture building business went under during COVID, and then he gets selected to direct a play in London, and we are ripped away from every character we've ever known in this franchise, and nothing really works except a couple of dance scenes, of course. But overall, I just have to say that there's really nothing here, and that disappointed me because watching the first movie I was like, oh wow, like that surprised me. And also Channing Tatum was really impressive. And in the second one, I was like, oh my gosh, this is even better and like so funny. And Channing Tatum is really impressive. And in the third one, he is still impressive, but unfortunately not enough to save this film. red, white, and royally blue. I just have one question. Where are we? Because we are not in DC. We are certainly not in DC. The green screens were hilarious. Look, I didn't like it that much. I'm sorry. I was literally trying to find like a positive thing to say about it. I don't know, there was just something like too cheesy about it for me. And this is someone who watches the Hallmark Channel regularly. Like, it's probably on downstairs right now, just waiting for me. But I don't know. It just, something about it was just so like, really? It was nice that we got to get a gay movie with that sort of premise though. But ultimately, I'm gonna have to say this. But like, in a sense that she can go, like, it can go at the top of there's nothing really here. For me, okay? For me. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem made me cry 5 times, I think, within the first, like, 20 minutes, maybe. Something is Jackie Chan as Splinter, and when he was talking about, like, protecting the boys and raising them and stuff, I was just, he was voice acting down. I don't know, like, it was really getting to me. And I was really surprised by this movie overall. Like, it was so funny, like, the dialogue and the natural chemistry between the boys was really, really good. And it was just so surprisingly, like, touching and heartfelt. I was like, wow, like, they literally just want to, like, fit in and, like, just be kids and not have to hide. Like, I was really feeling for these turtles. And, yeah, like, she was definitely a sleigh boots queen for me. You know, I mean, and Io Adebiri is in it. Creed 3 was Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. I had forgot that I had watched it this year up until I was trying to go through and plan this video out. So I think already that can't put it very high. I do remember liking some choices, like some artistic choices made. Like I feel like I remember the final fight scene, you know, the one where he wins, of course, was like really artsy. And I think there was something like Everything Everywhere All at Once about it, where like him fighting Jonathan Majors, as well as like where I think we went through like a bunch of different art styles, and I thought that was cool. So yeah, I feel good putting it at she had some hits, because I do feel confident that she literally had some hits. Wait, okay. The 10th Saw movie came out this year. I can't believe there's actually been 10 of these. I saw this with my sister because she really likes this franchise. This was the first Saw movie I've ever seen in a theater. I think this is the first full Saw movie that I've ever seen, period. First and foremost, John Kramer is ridiculous. Like, what do you mean I have to crack open my skull, pull out a piece of my brain, and have it dissolve just so I can get a key to release me from these shackles? Like, be serious. I didn't like the fact that everyone came so close, but ultimately no one, like, made it out. I don't know. I just felt like there's really nothing here. Like, yeah, he had his reasons for doing what he did, but also didn't do much for me. Okay. We've got 2 heavy hitters left. The interesting thing about the 2 movies left is that they came out very close to each other, right? And I really wanted to see both of them. One of them I saw twice in theaters. One of them I did not. I feel like I'm on America's Next Top Model. We'll go with the one that I did not see in theaters. The Little Mermaid. Unfortunately, I tried, okay? I did try to go one time, but then I was seeing it at a movie theater in like downtown San Antonio, and it was like the parking situation was just too much for me, and so I ended up going back home. I did watch it. I did like it. I mean, this movie has been making people mad ever since 2018. I'm just so glad that it finally came out and people could just finally stop talking about it. And like the fact that the mermaid is Halle Bailey, who is black. The movie overall, I feel she didn't do that much for me. Like, Halle, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing voice. Like, I did cry when she was singing and everything, but I just feel like the supporting characters, like, didn't add much. And I just feel like a Disney princess movie is supposed to be so much of like, you know, the friends you make along the way, and I felt like Scuttle and Sebastian were just like annoying. I mean, I don't even really remember Flounder contributing anything. Lin-Manuel Miranda as Triton was, I was like, is he even acting? Like, is this his first day doing this? I was confused. Melissa McCarthy did surprise me. I felt like she was definitely like the next best character out of Hallie. So I'll say she had some hits. No, I'll say Slay Boots Queen. Hallie's gorgeous. I love you, Halle Bailey. Now, this is my favorite movie that I watched this year. And not too much on franchise movies, guys, because Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, she's not like the other girls. I saw this movie twice in theaters. I think I've seen it like 6 times overall. I remember sitting down. I remember the movie starting off with Gwen's story, and I was immediately just like, ugh. So we're starting off with Gwen. I was like, where's Miles? Where's Miles? But then Self-Love came on by Metro Boomin and Coi Leray. And I was like, oh yeah, Metro Boomin made this soundtrack. Metro Boomin made the Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack. And every song was obviously in my Spotify Wrapped because the soundtrack is so good. The cliffhanger, I was not mad about it. I think you're a bit of a loser if you are mad about it, because that means we get to get another one of these movies and they're all so good. Like, the stacked cast, Issa Rae's in the Spider-Verse, Daniel Kaluuya's in the Spider-Verse, Jarrell Jerome is in the Spider-Verse. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I want to watch it again right now. It's on Netflix and I'm probably going to watch it again today because I love this movie so much. Just so much. It was so good. Am I happy with the choices I've made here? Let me switch around some things in the rows. Hold on. Okay. This is my final ranking list. Judge me. Comment down below. I think I'm happy with my choices. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being above Barbie is killing me a little bit. If you've seen it, I think you understand. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to come back and visit again. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye!